It's a beautiful island nation in the Indian Ocean, but recently the Maldives has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. The EU and UN say they are very concerned about the human rights situation there after the country jailed its first democratically elected president, Mohamed Nasheed. Last month, he was temporarily released on medical grounds and flew to London for treatment. Together with his lawyer, Amal Clooney, he came into CNN for an interview with Christian and hit out at the government for behaving like a dictatorship. Well, today we give the Maldives Foreign Minister, Dunya Mamoon, her right to reply. Foreign Minister Dunya Mamoon, thanks so much for your time today. Do you think that the former President Nasheed should return to the Maldives after this medical leave, or should he not?
Yes, we expect him to return. He has requested for special medical leave given his back injury, and this was a special decision by President Yameen on humanitarian grounds to let him travel to the United Kingdom to attend to his medical needs.
There are many around the world, governments, UN bodies, who say that the government that's ruling the Maldives is not ruling it in a democratic way.
We strongly refute that allegation. As you know, President Yameen came in on an election that is certified by international observers to have been free and fair. He is democratically elected by the people. A lot of these allegations are unfortunately based on the findings of the UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. As we know, the findings of this group has been recently disputed by the UK government in the case of Julian Assange. In fact, the Prime Minister himself has commented on this, the UK Prime Minister, David Cameron.
The European Parliament talks of continued democratic backsliding and deterioration of human rights. The Amnesty International, a climate of fear spreading in the Maldives, safeguards on human rights increasingly eroded. The US Secretary of State, John Kerry, Maldives democracy under threat. Are they all wrong?
Our President Yameen, just a couple of hours ago, announced his intention to invite for political dialogue all the political parties for cross-party talks. He has also revealed his intention to address the challenges facing our young democracy in terms of strengthening particularly the judiciary. We remain open to the suggestions and to working with the international community. The Commonwealth, the European Union, the EU have always been invited in for dialogue, and we are working with them on working out the areas where we need to go ahead to strengthen further our democracy.
Last year, the Vice President was arrested, Ahmed Adib, who was appointed 3 months after President Yameen's running mate was impeached. The Defence Minister was sacked. The former President, of course, jailed, along with any number of other opposition figures. The police chief fired, yet you say there's no real democratic crisis.
Well, no man is above the law, and as a functioning democracy,
that's quite a long list.
There are instances where they cross the law and there are allegations of criminal or public order offences, then obviously justice will take its part, and hence a number of cases have been going through the courts, but all of them have access to lawyers, and there's fair trials in the Maldives. They have the right to go through the appeals if they feel that their rights are not fully addressed in our processes.
I want to ask you about something else. Your nation is said to have the highest per capita recruitment to ISIS in the world, 200 or so fighters who've gone to Iraq or Syria. Why is that, and why aren't those fighters arrested when they come home?
I think when the numbers are looked at in a small population and per capita is used, it does not give the correct picture. We admit we, as the rest of the world, is facing a global challenge in terms of addressing terrorism. We are dedicated to working against this. Today, here in the UK, I met with the Foreign Office and I have been discussing issues of collaboration on the counter-terrorism area.
From my reading, no returning jihadist who's been to Syria or Iraq has been detained. Do you not fear radicalised locals who've been on jihad are just going to go?
That's not true, Michael. Actually,
beach?
We have had apprehended a number of returning persons from Syria and other locations. And in fact, we have been very successful in the past few months in locating and ensuring the return of a number who were supposed to be traveling towards these locations. So I think with our anti-terrorism legislation and with the work that we're doing internationally, our commitment remains particularly to protecting our tourists. As you know, tourism is the basis of the livelihood for our people and for our country. And our problem should not be blown out of proportion. And I think the opposition is very irresponsible in trying to link and make Maldives a hotbed, which it is not.
So you're saying then that returning jihadists have been detained, have been picked up, and are you denying that there is an increased radicalization among Maldivans?
There is an issue. It's a small issue that we have to face. Obviously, we can't deny the facts, but no, it's not a hugely growing issue, and we don't feel that there's any particular targeting of tourists. In fact, the tourism ministry and the tourism sector are working day and night to protect tourists.
The other big threat to your nation isn't radical Islam or backsliding on democracy. It's the weather, climate change, a situation so grave your very nation could disappear beneath the waves. Is that something that can be reversed?
I think Maldives was the first country that spoke out internationally on the issue of climate change. Our former president, Maumoon Abdul Gayoom, spoke in Vancouver at a Commonwealth summit and brought this to the attention of world leaders that global warming and the rising sea levels was impacting on small island countries such as the Maldives. Since then, we have been instrumental in the creation of the Alliance of Small Island States. Last year, we chaired this association and led the work going towards Paris.
Of course, President Nasheed led the way on climate change, raising the issue of climate change for the Maldives, and he ended up in jail. Do you expect he's going to be back in jail?
I think we have to get the facts right, Michael. I think I just mentioned to you that it was President Maumoon Abdul Gayoom who brought the issue to the international stage. President Nasheed played a role in terms of publicizing it. But I think even the president is not above the law. A former president is not above the law, neither is a minister or any other person. And if you commit criminal actions, abduction of a judge is a very serious crime.
Foreign Minister Dunya Maumoon, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Michael, for the opportunity. Thank you.